What's up? What's up, Rick? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me okay when I speak? Howdy, howdy. Dania, Rick, can you just give me a thumb up if you can hear me? Just gonna wait a couple more minutes for a few more people to join, and we'll kick off in a couple of minutes. Awesome. Thank you. Legend, say in the house too. How is everyone doing? Wish I could just put some music while we wait. Doing great. Awesome. Awesome. Having some nice push as we're looking. I was just looking. Bitcoin is going for it. Nice little push. All good. All good. I got the chart open on the side, so look at that. I reckon Bitcoin is gonna come and take this equal highs just here. 1 and 2. I reckon that's where we're heading. Wait 1 more minute and then we'll kick off. In the meantime, we can have a little look at the good old daddy dollar. What is daddy dollar doing? So I like to have a look at it at the monthly first. Nice high time frames, and you can probably all see what I'm looking at here, which is this one candle. I'm still waiting to be mitigated between 104 and 106, and I reckon we'll get something like this happening soon. With elections just around the corner, and looks like somebody that was president 4 years ago, for now, is going to come back. And not doing any politics, but we all know that one side is more crypto friendly than the other. So not bad for crypto if that happens, and the dollar will inevitably also drop. So that's kind of what I'm looking at a macro level for the dollar probably to happen. I think I've got it marked up here. Elections are in November sometime here. So they're happening very soon. We're at the 618 now, looking at this last leg up. I'm expecting a little bit of price action resistance around here. You can see this one candle just waiting there, but not for too long. Something along the lines of this chop up, push up, and then nice push down. But we're not going to try to predict the market here. We're just going to react to it. Few more people joining. That's awesome. Let me know in the chats, guys, if you can hear me okay. If I'm just chatting by myself. Last week I was having an issue with Discord, so if you can hear, fine, awesome, perfect, yay. Well, let's kick off, team. So last week we had a look at dollar, we had a look at the three main and a couple of forex and stocks. Not too much has changed. Obviously, Bitcoin is really going for it. I reckon we're going to take, I was just saying at the beginning of the call, guys, for those who weren't here just yet, I reckon we're going to go and take out these two equal highs. So movement, something like this. I reckon it's happening. So we'll push up a little bit more for Ethereum. Kind of similar. It's different though in the sense that we're probably gonna face a bit more resistance. I reckon. I was looking on a lower time frame. I actually had a buy that I completely forgot. It was an entry too. I had an entry one here and an entry two, so it got tagged to the T, and it was an entry based purely on equal highs. So I saw these two equal highs. So I just did a small entry and actually triggered me. I didn't even realize because it was overnight. It was at 10 o'clock, so I was already in bed. So it triggered me. Then boom, straight to 2p. I didn't even call it out. It was just something I totally forgot about. But nice little surprise there. Sol has been toying with our team. I know the Say's already covered this, and this is. I just wanted to show you, everyone. This is what a short squeeze looks like. So. Short squeeze basically is price action where we are heading towards the downside, but we have a nice big impulse up to take out all this liquidity that's been building up, squeezes everyone that has been short like we were, and then boom, drops down. So that's exactly what happened. It actually happened twice. You can see this other move here. If you were still in the trade, I had a couple of stop losses here. My invalidation is actually was just about to be tagged here, not yet, but I reckon we still get a little bit of a push down, but overall I'll probably take some profits. Market looks like it wants to push up. So if you are in the Sol short, maybe you should already have stop that break even, but if you haven't, take some profits. I think exit one was hit already. Our forex trade from last week went well. I'll just cover them really quickly. The 4-hour Euro USD that I was looking at tagged beautifully. So you can just see I was looking at that one candle. It's an order block really. It wasn't just a candle. So order block means there's a few people, obviously a bit of price action there. You can see we created some liquidity. When that happens, we're expecting the market to come back to it and react and trying to close off any order. So that happened now. You can see a little reaction there already. So I'm in at Euro USD buy and AUD NZ. It was just actually I got stuffed that huge spread, but I'm in a buy, not for long. I'm gonna move the stop loss there. If you took the plays on the stocks team, this was a banger. WBA came out with earnings, and yeah, look at that stock. It's already going up. If you took an option, you're already well in profit, almost 20% in just a handful of days. So that was last week. Let's move on to what I wanted to chat to you guys about this week. Feel free to drop in the chat if you want to cover anything else, but I thought I'd cover a couple of projects that I personally believe are either undervalued or have really good potential in the upcoming bull run. And I just wanted to give you my perspective. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor by any means. So investing, always carry a risk and always invest what you can afford to lose. Just a little disclaimer there. But for DeFi, I had two projects that I wanted to run you guys. One you'll probably already know, which is Maker, but I'll get to it. The second one is Velodrome. So we know Base is obviously on the rise. Coinbase is partnered with government and very large entities. So what I tend to do when we see these new blockchains or any kind of platform is really looking at the DeFi projects first, because that's where the big money is going to go. So I always say in trading, follow the money and you'll be happy. I kind of looked at a few different DeFi projects and Velodrome stuck out. I reckon that these guys will be similar to Uniswap, so much so that they actually put it in the white paper. They're basically trying to be the Uniswap of Base. And you can see here they're built on optimism, so nice cheap gas, and they got some really good partnerships already happening. So it's a project that personally I think is going to do really well. At the moment, you can see, so I've for these projects here, guys, I just want to run through quickly. What I always do when I'm looking at any project is looking at the fair value. Fair value, how do you determine that? Well, it's actually very simple. So you can just head on to CoinGecko.com and you can just simply look at any coin. Like you can do it with Bitcoin if you want. And the equation is really simple. So you basically look at the market cap and you divide that by the circulating supply, and that will give you what's called a fair value. Okay, you can do that in stocks as well. So for any of the projects, I always tend to look at, is it overvalued, is it undervalued? That gives me a better sense check of where the market is at. Say there may be some indicators that tell me that it's oversold or overbought, that I'm not a huge fan of. I do use them. I've got them here, but they're good to use as a confluence. But so yeah, I just kind of looked at the fair value, and they're all sitting pretty good here. Velodrome, really good projects on Base. Keep it on the radar. You can see we're creating some liquidity here, and that's kind of, for me, what I like to see taken before I enter. So something like this, and then as soon as we get that kind of move, I'll be in probably quite heavily on that. I like to be exposed to Base. I don't have any exposure at the moment, so you can see the breaker structure here. So we started forming some. Obviously, we were doing low. Here we actually did a higher low. A lower low, and then here we're starting to make some highs and highs. So that was the breaker structure right there in the green circle right here. That. For me, before I enter I want to see that liquidity taken. So another one on DeFi, guys, that it's on Ethereum. So a little bit more of a traditional one. It's Maker, and I think someone in the chat earlier asked me to cover this. I do see Maker going back up. It's not a new project by all means. It's been around since 2017. I actually was buying Maker back here. I'm on how much? I don't think I consider there's some nice order blocks and price action happening right here. So I would like to keep an eye on this around between 900 and 1200, something like this, and then a push up. Maker has possibly the best tokenomics I've ever seen in many coins. I'll see what I mean. Tokenomics, for those of you that don't know what they are, is basically just having a look at the market cap, but most importantly, what's the circulating supplies versus the max supply. So you can look here, the max supply is that to give you an idea, Bitcoin is 21 million. So, and they already supply 899. So it's nuts. One of the best tokenomics I've ever seen. So I'm a big believer that Maker is going to push back, and at some stage you can see the price action was very much in line with ETH. So he actually surpassed it at some stage in the recent run. There's no reason absolutely why Maker shouldn't go back to being at least at pair with ETH soon. So it's a nice 2x. We're at 1200 now, so ETH is what is that, 225 now, something like that. So yeah, keep it on the radar, team. It's definitely a coin that I think will pay nicely. It's basically the decentralized finance for Ethereum. Like, you can call it almost like the Ethereum bank in a way. Its Ledger has a nice little article if you want to go and have a look. I'm happy to share all these articles, but it's basically the bank for ETH. And what is really important to mention about Maker is that they actually have a stable coin which has been around forever. It's called DeSci. And I'm a huge fan of this stable coin because unlike USDC or USDT, which we all know, it cannot be frozen. So technically, governments, if they wanted to, they can freeze USDC and definitely USDT. Whereas DAI is an over collateralized, which is a great thing to do for a stablecoin. It means that there's basically more collateral behind the stablecoin than there is in circulation. But what's most important is that it's decentralized. So I sit at night knowing that I've got my my stablecoins in DAI. RLC was a nice AI project that I've had on my list since the beginning of 2024. Had a nice little push. You can see it went from $1.50 to $5. It is a privacy coin with the eye, so it's hitting a couple of really good spots for me. You can see pioneering decentralized confidential computing since 2018. This was an article that was published just a few days ago. They have some really cool partnerships. The most important one probably with Intel, the chips, and they basically just moving towards data security on-chain, all done via AI. So good partnership, good tokenomics. Price at the moment is $1.40. So you can see it went up all the way to 16. I don't know if it's going to come back up here, but even if we just go and fill this weekly candle here, I get a little bit bigger. But if we go and fill that weekly candle here, it's almost a 3x. So definitely not unhappy if that happens. So RLC, good AI coin / privacy coin to be exposed on. Illuvium was my pick for gaming. There's a couple of really bullish news. I don't know if you follow gaming. I'm not a gamer, but I do follow the space because there's so much money in there. You can see when it first launched, it was $1,500. Then they had a reduction in coins. They cut it down. They did a really bad launch, hence the price dropped. But they sort out their tokenomics, and they've since sort out also their business model. So most importantly, what I've been doing is doing Fibs extensions. You can see I've colored them differently for you guys so you can see what I do. So basically, I've been taking the drops, the biggest drops. This is on a weekly, but you can see it on a daily too. I've taken the biggest drops and see where the Fib extension lands. And out of the four last drops, we have a nice Fib confluence here. That it's between $27 and $30. So that's when I'm expecting price action to potentially drop, and then definitely a nice up. Why English? There's been Web3, but have to be stable. You can see here. it's out. Yeah, the partnership got announced at Gamescom just recently, so super bullish to see Samsung obviously partnering with them to bring this on every Samsung TV, which I think is crazy. Look at the price action. I mean, we are at 35. I'm not again starting to accumulate now this year here. Yes, I do have this as my main area between 20, 26, 27 and $30, but this year here is not a bad level when you can easily go back into the 100 and then some, 100. I'm probably looking at filling this gap, 120 at the very least, so it's probably a 4x from here. It will take time, but definitely something to look at. I've got one for you that was actually brought by Harvey as a huge alpha, and I did some good reading and good research on this, and I really like this coin. So it's called Research Coin. It's part of the DeSci, so decentralized science. It's a sector that I think probably won't explode on this cycle, maybe on the next, but it's good to be early and it's good to have exposure. And the reason why I really like this coin is because this guy is the founder. And if you know who this guy is the founder of Coinbase. So he founded Research Hub. He founded Research Coin. He pleaded not to sell any of his Research Coin for 4 years. That was in 2022, so until 2026. And what's even more bullish about this is that this coin is not on Coinbase yet. So we have Coinbase founder founding a Research Coin and not even on Coinbase yet, sitting at 21 cents. So you can see it went up to $1 roughly. I mean, that's a 5x from here. If it goes back there, I think in this next few months / years, easily. So these are kind of the coins where you can just put in small allocations, and there's no stream video. What? Hang on a second. What happened? Rick, what was the last one that you saw? And Dania, what was the last it tells me that I'm streaming. What was the last thing that I was sharing on the screen? Illuvium was the last. Okay, cool. So we're just looking at Research Coin now, which is the next. Let me know if you can see the screen. You say my stream is still running. We pause this preview to save our resources, but yeah, can see. Awesome. So yeah, this is a Research Coin. Research Coin by Brian Armstrong. Definitely one to keep an eye on. DeSci, yeah, something a little bit far away, but good to be early. It's actually a good segue onto XRP, which I put in there as one of my pick. In fact, my pick for ISO 220. If you don't know what ISO 220 is, basically am I breaking up? I thought it was my internet. The voice is breaking up. Hopefully not. Let me know, guys, if I'm breaking up. I might have to talk a little bit slower. XRP was my pick for the ISO 220 coins. They basically going to be the centralized, or more centralized, I should say, coins that are going to be able to utilize the SWIFT method, or replace the SWIFT method of banking payment. They've already accredited for that. So you're looking at institutions most likely going to be able to adopt these coins much quicker than any other, simply because they have that infrastructure of being already approved with their existing system, which is the SWIFT. That SWIFT method and ISO 220 and especially XRP are going to be huge, I think, in the next few months/years for what's called cross-border payments. They were born to solve the cross-border payments. So you look at countries like Russia where they've been sanctioned and they've basically been cut off all the supply and whatnot. Cross-border payments solve that. And interestingly enough, Ripple or XRP, Ripple is a company behind XRP, now launched their new stablecoin to accelerate cross-border payments. This is huge bullish news for me, and I think for the space. Ripple USD, it's called, comes at a time where business and financial institutions are seeking reliable tools for cross-border transaction and asset tokenization. So we've seen the fall of the dollar of worldwide, the US dollar, the petrodollar is gone. So things like this, when blockchains and Web3 is picking up steam everywhere in every country, are going to be huge. And one of the main things you can see here, I use Leo to just summarize. Ripple recently obtained approval to launch its payment infrastructure across the UAE. So massive news. We know that UAE is bullish on crypto, crypto friendly, zero taxes. So to see Ripple being already making moves there with stable coins, mind you, it's tough luck for the likes of USDT and USDC. I think they're going to have some competition there for sure. So yeah, super bullish on Ripple. Look at the price action. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous when you look at where we are. I mean, we were at $1.59, and now we're sitting with $30 million market cap at 54 cents. So I'm looking at least take profit of $1.95. But then probably looking at scaling out at $1.50 completely. We might even go higher. There's people are screaming for $3 Ripple. I don't know if that would happen, but we shall see. But definitely a 2x from here, I reckon. Ripple has been keeping us waiting. We'll get there. Speaking of not Ripple, but Rocket Pool. I don't know if you guys know what Rocket Pool is, but it is basically a solution that was created to help people that don't have 32 Ethereum being able to stake ETH. So as a validator, you had to have 32 ETH, not something that everyone has in their back pocket, in order to stake ETH. But platforms like Rocket Pool come out and basically allow you to stake whatever ETH you have just in pools. Has been going crazy. Like, it's really hard to get into these pools because they're always full. But the project itself is great. It was one of the only two that started it. And you can see the price action. We were hovering around between the $40 and $25 for a long time. And we retraced back down to 10, which when you got a monthly, you really look at how low we are. Like, we're very low, right? Like, I'm expecting Rocket Pool to go back at least to the $50. So it's a 5x from here. I reckon it will happen very, very easily for Rocket Pool. Tokenomics are really good too. So really good project. 230 million in market cap currently. So not a lot. And the last one is ClearPool or CPOOL. So we know that RWA, so real world asset, is really hot. We know that Ondo obviously leading the charge with that. But it's good to see what other projects are out there. And ClearPool has been really making some waves. You can see there's a few big names that are already backing ClearPool in terms of having either the facility or having partnership with Hex Trust, for example. Really good structure behind this project, I think, for what's to come in real world asset, and the price action. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. You look at where we were, zoom out. So it started off at $1.80. I'm assuming this was big venture capitalists just dropping their bags at $1.07, but I mean, we're sitting at 15 cents. So a lot of this project might not come back to all-time high, but you got to look at price action and where we might end up filling some of the candles. I'm really liking this 76 cents, which when you keep into consideration, we're currently sitting at 15 cents. So it's pretty simple to see why. It's forming a huge cipher pattern. So we're in that last wave up. So even from here, if we take just a quick measure move, it's 100% measure move from where we are currently to where we potentially finish this cipher pattern. So pretty crazy. So these were the projects that I wanted to run to you guys. Some of the ones that I'm really looking at for the coming bull, but yeah. So if there's any questions, otherwise I might just cover quickly where I think BTC and ETH might end up. See in the chat. We all good? Let's see, Danny's typing. Well, we got some questions coming through. I just run through what those areas are. You can see I've got a little red and green area. So those are called pitchforks, and I do them on the last move. So that was last move down to up, and that kind of gives me support and resistance, not straight, but in a diagonal line, and they're very accurate. You can see the price action goes all the way back, and you can see how much these lines have been respected, this support and resistance area, and we just flipped this resistance area here, which is pretty cool. So I'm assuming we are going to go and take out this equal high here for BTC shortly. So $70,000, I reckon it's the next target. Yes, Illuvium. I'll run over real quick again. Back onto the chart so we know what we're looking at. So Illuvium, $239 million market cap currently, fair price of $34.73, which is pretty much where we are. Really consolidating at the moment. That's all it's doing. So you can see this box here. That's all consolidation. So it's just waiting. I reckon what I'm expecting and what I'm hoping for is a little push down to then have that big move up. But what I was saying earlier, Dania, is I'm actually going to look at DCIing from here. I'm not against DCIing small amounts from now. And the price action for Illuvium speaks for itself without having to go back, to all-time high, because that was just a bad launch token that they have. But I'm targeting at a minimum $150, which is a lot of X's. We're at 35, so at a minimum, I'm 150, 160, possibly even higher. And why I'm so bullish is this: the Samsung partners with Illuvium to elevate Web3 TV experiences. That was a mouthful. Basically, what Samsung has done is going to bring Illuvium game, which you can now play on every Samsung TV, which is super bullish, I think, for the normies to be able to play a Web3 game without knowing it's a Web3 game. It's crazy. You can see the one on Avax now that is going berserk. This is going to be brought on every Samsung TV. So huge news there for Illuvium, I think. Hope that covers it. And then that was the Illuvium post. You can see. No problem. Yeah, so that was Bitcoin. I reckon 70,000 is next. I'm not doing anything at the moment with Bitcoin. I'm not taking any trades. I'm not shorting. I'm not longing. I'm just waiting for price action to come to me or to us, and then we'll see. There's no point in trying to chase or predict at the moment. We're in the middle of this range. Like, we're not at time. We're not at a high. We're not at a low. We're just in the middle. So we just flip this area. I'm assuming this area will probably become a bit of a support eventually, and then we might even go up, or we might reject yet again. The 70,000 has been that area that we keep rejecting at 72, 71, 74. So this kind of area is where we really need to show some strength. But we'll see. And then Ethereum, yeah, like I said earlier, a bit of a different spot. We can if BTC goes up, we probably definitely take out this, and we might even push up into the 2.8s. I don't think we're gonna reach the 3,000 personally, not yet. I think this is probably my main target for now in the short term. Actually, I should say this is the first, and that's the second. So we'll see. I am not doing. I'll probably just cancel this so you don't get confused. That's done. I'm not shorting at the moment. I'm not doing anything, so get rid of that. Currently just looking at price action and what we're doing, and yeah, I want to see some strength. I want to see this liquidity taken out first, and then once we get up there, I'll be able to have a bit of a look at what the market is doing. Solana, I'm just probably going to close. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything because I think the market has already done it for me. I think I'm just about to hit my invalidation zone, so that was my stop loss. That's fine. We took a bit of profits here, and now I'm back closing profit. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the majors. Similar to BTC, you can see I had those pitchforks down here. You can see those areas there. There was sometimes they get a bit wigged out, but basically that was the 50%, which is a really strong area for these pitchforks to just basically use. And you can see we just bounced from it like clockwork, which is crazy. Again, like dun and bounced again. So I want to see this this area flipped so into support. But for now, nothing else on my radar. And unless you guys have any questions, that's kind of what I wanted to run through. Probably just disclose that one of my colored boxes, just in case you weren't here last week. But basically just the way I measure fibs. So I just take, high to lows, and say for example we take this one from here to here. So that's my fib levels. So 50%, 618, 786, I don't really use 382s or anything like that. I like deeper retracements, and then what I do, I just usually box them up. So 786 to 886 goes into purple, and 618 to 50% goes into yellow. So that's how I box up what those color boxes are in my trades. If you see them on Discord, usually. Let me just do that so you can see. Yeah, there. And then I just delete the fib. I don't like too many lines. That's it. That's all I got. Few little projects to keep on the radar. Let's be patient for now. There's no point in trying to chase the market or predict. There's a big push happening. I'm looking at the dollar until the dollar makes up its mind. That you can see on the monthly, it's really quite clear, I think, where he wants to head, and it's in this candle here. Personally, that's where I'm targeting this candle right here. So we still got a little bit up, and where the dollar, usually when the dollar is up, crypto goes down, but it's not the case necessarily anymore. As we're seeing, the dollar is going up and Bitcoin is also going up. That shows that we are in a more mature market, crypto market, than we were maybe last cycle. It's good that it's getting depegged. We're looking at indices and gold, and everything's pushing up like crazy. So yeah, interesting times, but we shall see. For now, let's just be patient, and let's let the market come to us, team. I'm going to love you and leave you if there's no questions, and I'll put this on YouTube, so if you want to go and have a look at it again, you can. Thanks for attending, guys, and I'll see you hopefully next week.